Hello, it's Talking Reds on Wednesday from Liverpool. 10 days to go until the European Cup final in Madrid against Tottenham Hotspur. To talk about that and also the young lads that have been out on loan and whether they can fit into the squad next season, and also the Community Shield final, the real big one, Rob. You've got me, Dan Austin, and him, Rob Gutmann. We're going to start with the European Cup. Rob, you were unsuccessful in the ballot, unfortunately. How's your ticket story going?
It's not going well, Dan.
No?
Can't tell a lie here. I've asked, begged, borrowed and steal, wouldn't quite cover it. I've asked a lot of people who haven't heard from me for quite a while. Hi Rob, how you doing? Not so bad. By the way, have you got a Champions League final ticket you want going? I've given up.
Are you in all the competitions and stuff?
Competitions? Yeah. I entered a Gazprom once. Sent me a link for.
Ring them up and say, I will exclusively buy my crude oil from you in future if you sort me out for the final.
I can commit that in my needs for crude oil, it's definitely those guys I'll be going to. Gazprom, you hear it first. Gazprom. Is that enough of a plug?
They light up the football.
my predicament is I need three people. I need three because
not asking for much.
No, because I take my two lads with me to all the fucking games, and they can't go. You know, I'm not going to go to the ground without them. Although they said, Dad, what if we get one? And my elder lad Danny goes, well, I'll go. I go, will you? I'm sacrificing. I won't go without you, but you'll go without me. So, but the thing is, I booked immediately. We qualified for the final. I booked my flights. They cost a pretty penny. I've paid my hotel. I may be in the market for flogging them soon. I'm getting to the point where by the weekend, you know, I've never known anything like this in terms of, normally I back my street skills to get me a ticket, one way or another. I've never ever not got a ticket for a game when I've needed it. If you want it bad, I've always had a philosophy, you want it badly enough, it'll happen somehow. And that's not talking about paying
stupid money
prices. No, even just face value. But this one, I've never known demand like it, and I think I'm going to have to resign myself to being in the second best place to watch this, which is Liverpool.
No one I know who's been looking for Spurs since the ballot was done has actually got sorted.
No.
Which is incredible, because I remember Kiev last year, I went on a Spur and about 6 or 7 people had ended up going on a Spur. That was because it was Ukraine, it was hard to get to. Once people had been successful in the ballot, it was going to cost you £1,000 pretty much for the day trip, so people thought, well, I can't really afford that, I'll pass the ticket on.
Yeah.
Because although, you know, Madrid is becoming increasingly difficult to get to because it's Tottenham and because everyone's flying from the same country, it is still easy enough to get to if you really want to go.
Yeah,
that
people
seems
are driving
like,
we're
going on the bus and everything, you can make it happen if you really want to. It seems to me like everyone who's been allocated a ticket, who's got a ticket through official channels, has just gone, yeah, I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
And that means the pool of spare tickets, which is usually big enough for people who know loads of people that go to the match, like yourself, has just completely and utterly shrunk to nothing. I've never known a game like it, apart from possibly Wolves on the final day.
The spin-on effect, and actually there was a story in the Liverpool released yesterday, wasn't there, about touting and about fans being banned because they found touting. But I think because of the demand, the touting prices have gone through the roof. I mean, I'm never hearing people talking about less than $4,000 for a ticket. And I just think that it's at that level where anyone's got a spare, and I think, like I say, most people are decent and wouldn't tout, but there's a lot of people out there who have got a spare who are looking at that price and go, Jesus Christ, that's a serious amount of money. I can't pass that up. I'm going to tout it. We'll pass judgment on those people. Well, I do. Don't do that. But I think that's adding to the problem.
Tottenham Hotspur have banned 3 of their season ticket holders, giving them indefinite bans, which I presume basically means lifetime bans. So fair play to Tottenham for doing that, quite frankly.
We've done 5, haven't we?
I think they're in the process of banning those people. Spurs have listed it on the website that they've officially done it. So it's good that both clubs are taking positive and quite heavy action on those people. We're going to talk about slightly, more fun news in the fan park. Information has been established, being put on the internet. The Anfield wrap will be there. It'll be similar to Shevchenko Park. Neil and John will be on the stage doing some really good stuff. Boss Night will also be there on the stage. Everyone will be having a great time. So if you are going to Madrid and you haven't got a ticket, sounds like that's going to be the place to be. Liverpool have put it on officially themselves. It sounds like it's going to be great. But Rob, they're closing it at 6 p.m. 3 hours before kick-off. They've got probably maybe about 15,000 Liverpool fans will go over ticketless, would be my guess.
Yeah.
A similar number at Tottenham, about twice the actual allocation, I would presume.
Yeah.
So that means you've got probably like 30,000 English footy supporters just walking around looking for bars to go in 3 hours before kick-off after being on the ale. I don't think they've really thought that through very well.
It's not going to play out well. I said to myself, even though I'm ticketless, I'd still go to Madrid. I'd use my flights, and I enjoy the atmosphere of being in the city, but I'm actually thinking now there's going to be such a demand for specs in the bars. That any bars that they're worth watching them in, that will have the sound on, or that. I think why go through that stress? It really sounds terribly organised. At least if they had a couple of big screens on, I think that would take 20,000 people out the mix. They should open the Bernabeu. Just put the friggin'
It's a
thing on.
secondary venue, even though it's the bigger one.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! It's everywhere you look. It feels like UEFA. Let's call a dog by its name. Have fucked up here.
Fucking up left, right,
Way to go, guys! Yes.
But if you are going to Madrid, come to the fan park. It'll be a great time while it is open, and hopefully, even if you are ticketless, you'll manage to have a great time. For now, we've got a message from the sponsors of today's Talking Reds, Tokyo Time.
Tokyo Time are partnering us throughout this season, sponsoring Talking Reds, and we're delighted they are doing so. They are a premium headwear company based here in Liverpool, but represented throughout the world. Here's a really cool video that made the shows a little bit more about what they're about. They're supporting us this season, so make sure you support them.
Perfect.
Thanks very much to Tokyo Time for that. Back now in the studio with Rob to talk about one of the biggest games in Liverpool's modern history that is coming up in the not too distant future. People are already on the internet asking for spares, asking what the allocation's going to be like, asking if how people are going to get down there and that kind of thing. Rob, it is the Community Shield final versus Manchester City in early August. People are taking it with a lot more kind of credence than what I'd usually expect. People aren't viewing it as just a friendly. There's a modicum of seriousness with this. I know people who are desperate to get all the tickets. Do you think that's because there's this sort of new rivalry with City? Are you taking it seriously?
I am, because I grew up with it a bit as the Charity Shield, which I shall keep calling it. Back in the day, Liverpool were in it, I think, all but every single year.
As either the league winners or the FA Cup winners?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. From about 77 on. Well, I mean, I think if you go from Shankly's last appearance as Liverpool manager was as managing Liverpool in the Charity Shield against Leeds, a famous game in '74 where I think I'm right in saying where there's a bust up between Keegan and Bremner. And Liverpool after that, between say about '74 and 1992, because we were when we won the FA Cup, are in it all but three, I think. So it was an essential part of our pre-season, and it was also a marker of being good. That was the thing to remember. It is the Super Cup of England. Now, I think with the decline of the domestic trophies, like the FA Cup, I think it's been taken less seriously. But as the FA Cup final winner and the league winner, that was a big deal. Whereas sort of in recent years, what does it really mean? So yeah, I think it is a thing. It's at Wembley. It's come a bit early. It's going to come a bit early for me this year. I'm going to be on holiday. I mean, my two lads are going, can we fly back from our holiday?
You can't fly back from the Community Shield.
I'm just no, boys, just no. That's a bridge too far. Because once we were on holiday for the Man City game, the quarter-final Champions League last year, and we did actually fly back there and back from...
That makes sense.
That was a bit mad, but it made sense. This doesn't. But I think it's a decent thing. I mean, how are we going to get there? A car. Are we going to get tickets? Yeah. I think people are going to get tickets for this. Can you imagine City fans being asked going to this?
Well, they got 29,000 last season and apparently sent some back.
Did they?
So if Liverpool are going to get, say, a minimum of 29,000, maybe a few more if City don't take all theirs, basically everyone who wants to go to the Community Shield final will be able to go to the Community Shield final, I would imagine.
So you'll count on your credits if you go for some future event?
For like next season's ballot for the European Cup final, it'll be like, you went the previous final, so you can definitely have one.
Yeah,
and there's loads of lads who've been like going home and away in Europe forever who didn't bother with the Community Shield and get fucked over.
I'm slightly... Well, one of the many benefits of winning the European Cup, if we do that, will be the Super Cup. If people are slightly cynical about the Charity Shield, not the Super Cup. Can we talk about the Super Cup?
We can talk about the Super Cup. It's in Istanbul.
Is it?
It's not it's not the Atatürk. It's the Vodafone Arena.
I prefer
which
that.
is
Been loads.
which is Besiktas's home ground.
Pardon?
Besiktas's
right.
home ground. It's about 40,000 people. So I think again we're getting an end of about 5,000 at most, a bit like Arsenal and Chelsea and Baku. So that one you're not getting a ticket for if you want to go, quite frankly.
I can't be
that one
arsed
you
with
are
going
going
to
in a
Turkey.
mad ballot for.
I'm not going to Turkey.
You're not going to Turkey.
So that's one relief if we don't win the
So
European
you've gone
Cup.
from saying you're dead excited about the Community Shield and the Super Cup to saying you're not going to either.
That's about sums it up. Yeah.
The Man City factor, though, does add something to it, doesn't it? Because both teams are going into next season knowing they've got to win 95% of their games, pretty much, if they're to win the league title. One of them is going to lose a game in August. It's not in the league, but they're going to lose the showpiece game that sets the league up. They're going to lose to their biggest rival. Do you reckon that can have a psychological effect for whoever comes away with nothing?
Yeah, when these games were bigger, and they were bigger at one stage, it very much was that. I remember us playing Arsenal in 78 or 79 Charity Shield, and we put on a real show that day. We beat them, I think 3-1, but it flattered Arsenal, and it was like, that's a marker. Wow, Liverpool. Because we'd lost the league to Nottingham Forest the year before, but won the European Cup as the last game of the season. So what kind of Liverpool were going to turn up? How were Liverpool going to take losing their crown?
Yeah.
Well, we played so well that day. We put down a marker and stormed to the league title on the back of it. I can see there will be a narrative here. I think the press will hype it up. If City win convincingly, people will go, I think it'll be more of this Man City, they're off into the sunset. Not even Liverpool can touch them now. They put down a marker will be the thing. But if Liverpool win, look at Liverpool coming on the rails. This time they're going to do City. The weird thing is they used to, this can be settled by a penalty shootout, can't it now?
Yes.
Didn't used, back in the day, they used to share the bloody thing. I remember the thing used to get by Shoot, the only football magazine I think that existed for a period between 78 and 82. And so you'd look for your team poster with your team would have its hopefully the league championship trophy in front of the captain, but also a big charity shield. But then the team that shared it with you would have it in the second half of the season. They'd like literally keep it 6 months and you hand it over.
Like a single mother and father giving the kid back and forth.
Exactly. That's what imagine Christmas in a bus or a little van around his Chad Shields here. Oh, great. Got a photo taken with it quickly. Yeah.
We'll take it to the aquarium the next day out. I'm a better parent.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope Liverpool win their treble, quite frankly, then. That'll do damage to cities again, won't it, if we win our European Cup, Charity Shield and the Super Cup. We can tell them we've won 3 trophies as well, can't we?
Do you remember Gerard Houllier and Benitez were very keen on counting these trophies? Do you remember Julio's
we won
treble?
5. We won 5, not 3. It wasn't a treble, it was a quintuple, whatever it would be.
Yeah, stick that up your City. And
Right, that is all that we've got time for now anyway, because we're about to go and record a very special edition of The Second Look, where we look back at both games against Tottenham from the Premier League this season and sort of do a hybrid with a preview as we look forward to see how both teams might set up, how the final might play out. So make sure to look out for that. That'll be on the YouTube channel later today. For now, thank you from Rob, thank you from me. And just before we go, the Anfield app are selling these wonderful t-shirts. If you want to hold one as well, Rob, or just hold this side, like it's a charity shield and we're sharing it, like that, for the European Cup final. So if you're going to Madrid, if you're watching it in Liverpool, if you're doing whatever, there's loads of really good merch on the Anfield Wrap website. Just go to theanfieldrap.com, there'll be a shop link on there. You can get this, you can get all the other t-shirts. There's the Man A one. There's a stain on this one. It comes free with a stain. No, we'll get you a clean one if you buy it. There's the Man A one from the Watford game. There's also the one from the Allianz Arena against Bayern. That one's been selling really well. People really like that one. So get on there, get yourself kitted out for the final. And whatever you're doing for the game, make sure to enjoy it. But for now, thanks very much for watching. Thanks from Rob, thanks from me. All the best. Up the Reds.